Alright? So what's your next step then?
Sorry?
What's your next step?
My next step?
Yep.
The house build.
No, to remedy.
No, to remedy this.
I just said to you, I will get those identical plants that were there and we will replant the bank.
I'll make it clear now, that boundary there is within my property line and I don't want to see you on this side of it.
Well, I can't plant the bank unless I come on that side of it.
You can with my permission.
Right, are you going to give me permission to plant the bank?
When it comes time for you to tell me what you plan to put in here and how you plan to repair this, yes, I'll give you permission to come
We
on.
haven't done any damage to the bank, so there's no repair.
Wait,
We'll
so
replant.
from where I'm standing, I see damage. From where you're standing, what do you see? Trees and shrubs.
It was like that.
It looked like that, and now it looks like this.
So you want it put back, you want it to grow as a wild...
It's up to us.
On
What I want are my mature trees that are no longer here, because you'll get love.
To a tree, we didn't take any trees. That's
Is this for your decking for lovely views over there?
No, we haven't got any decking up here.
Not yet.
We aren't having any decking.
According to your plans, you're supposed to be having decking off that
yeah,
corner.
Plans are just put as perspectives. There's no decking going here. There's paths going around. The garden will be going around, and that's it. There won't be any decking.
So why did you even need to touch the bank?
Just to tidy it up. These things up here, whatever they are, laurels or I don't know what they are.
That's up there.
There's some sort of laurel, and they were just going wild.
Yeah, but that's up there, not down here. It's up to us what happens here. Because what you're basically saying is, if I think your garden at your house is looking untidy, I can just go in there and tidy it up, can I?
Well, we tidied it up, and that was it.
But what gives you the right to come on to do it? That's true.
Because basically they were growing from here. We just assumed.
Those, from whatever's up there, wouldn't have been down here. This tree right here, for example, that's no longer in the ground.
Well, that's nothing to do with us.
That holly tree that's cut.
Holly, I admit, yes, that's the only one.
That's the only tree you've damaged.
That's the only tree we've taken.
So what about all these stumps right here? They're on my land.
Those stumps are the same as this laurel type.
Still on my land.
It's a laurel. I'm saying a laurel type plant.
But still on my land.
Yes, I've just said I will replant the same plant.
But why take it in the first place?
Because it was untidy and growing.
But that's not your concern, is it? That's my concern.
They were growing this way and every way to get them.
You would have the right to take branches off that are overhanging your land, but you don't have the right to come onto my land and remove the tree.
I haven't.
You have removed it. It's gone.
And I've just said I will reinstate it.
Well, why take it in the first place? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Because we thought we were tidying it up.
Well, you were wrong, unfortunately. You were damaging my bank. Now, if I want like for like, I would want a mature tree put back in there. Not just a shrub that you buy from Wyvale. I would want a like for like you've said, and that's a mature tree. And that would mean counting every stump, getting every species identified, and having it put back in like for like.
There's only one species, that's this thing up here.
There's
I'm
more
not
than.
sure what it is. It's a laurel of some sort, I think.
There's more than one species.
Well, where's the difference?
I'm not a tree surgeon. If you like, if you want to pay for it, I'll get a tree surgeon in to identify every single species, if you like. But that'll be at your cost.
No, it won't be at my cost.
Well, if you're going to like for like, then you're going to need to know what species you need to replace.
There was only one laurel, but what I'm saying, I keep saying laurel, but it's not a laurel, it's a laurel type.
But that's up there, and that's yours.
And that's what all these stumps are down here. They're the same. You're quite welcome to come up and look at that stump and compare it to that stump, and you'll find it's exactly the same plant.
The thing is, I want what I had. You came onto my land and took it. Tell me I'm lying.
No, I'm not saying that. I've just said we did take them, cut them off, tidy them up.
Yeah, but that's... And this is where
I can't give you mature shrubs that were 20 foot long and out of control.
Okay, it's up to me to decide whether they're out of control or not. I don't think, to be honest, we're going to get much further from this point onwards. What I will say, though, that boundary fence is to stay. If it moves...
Well, I will decide that when I've spoken to my solicitors.
You're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
Under advice that I've taken legally already, whilst you were having a lovely Floridian holiday, that's within my boundary line, and if you move it or touch it, it's criminal damage. The only way you can move that is to engage a solicitor and start a boundary dispute.
What, sorry?
Is to engage a solicitor, and we'll open up a boundary dispute on your property. So if you're planning on selling your house, I would take your time with that and think very carefully, because I know that is within our boundary, and I can prove that on my deeds. Your deed should show you that as well. So that fence belongs to me. I'm stating that to you
I know it
now.
belongs to you.
Yeah.
Because you put it up.
Well, I'm glad we're in agreement. So any damage to it, I'll hold you liable for.
Fine.
And I don't want to see you, please, and I'm asking politely, on this side. And I've taken a note, as you can see, I've stuck protection orders on everything, so you know, these trees are mine.
I know they are. We had no intention of touching the tree.
Well, you touch these ones, and you've already ringed the ivy on them already.
Yeah.
So if you had no intention of touching them, I would still have ivy. So I don't want to see any.
No intention of touching the trees.
You've got no right to touch the ivy on them either. These trees are protected. I've had a tree protection officer out on the land whilst you're
they're
away.
protected. I've just told you every tree in the land has got a CPO on it, anything over 0.175 in diameter.
I'm just reminding you now, though.
You don't need to remind me because I know that fact.
Well, these are protected, and if any of them are gone, I will call the police.
You can quite welcome to, but we won't be touching them, I can assure you.
Well, anybody you may engage. If the trees
We
go,
won't be engaging anybody to touch them.
well, you've already engaged somebody to touch the pine.
Because there was a dangerous limb up there which was dangerous to the scaffolding and the
How is
property.
it disgusting? 'Cause it's
Right.
over here.
How is it dangerous to scaffolding? That limb up there was stretching across this
So
way.
it was heading this way.
Prove it.
You can see the way it's facing now, the way it's been cut off, and that's the only limb we've
Did
taken
you
off.
take a photo
One
before you cut
limb.
it? Did you take
Yes,
a
I think
photo?
the surgeon did take photographs.
Well, unless you could give me that, I'm sorry, I disagree.
But he's also going to be putting in an application to trim the top of that tree, which is dead.
That's fine. You put planning in, and that's how things work. You don't just go in and cut without
That's what
planning.
he's doing. That's what he's up to now, putting in planning to take out the dead stuff in the top of that tree, because again, it's dangerous.
So what you need to do then is you contact somebody to get permission to do something. I see how that works. So why didn't it work with this?
Pardon?
Why didn't it work with this?
Because those were just shrubs, they're not trees.
Put the somewhere else.
Have you got shrubs in your garden?
Yeah,
I can go and trim those, can I?
badger, yeah, tidy them up.
I can just cut them all down,
Yeah, you can tidy them
You
up.
should have done that.
and you would have no problems.
No,
Well, I should have maybe done that while you're on holiday.
should have done.
So I've already seen you've already done all of your trees already. Same tree surgeon.
Pardon?
Was it the same tree surgeon that did your trees?
No,
Different one. Are you going to tell me who it is?
can't hear you.
You're going to tell me who the tree surgeon was that did the work?
No,
You tell me who it is that's putting the planning in. To be honest, I think we're going round in
there's a
circles. Sir.
machine over there working, I can hardly hear you.
Yeah, I think we're going round in circles. I've stated clearly the boundary's there. I don't want to see you on the other side of it. And I guess we'll wait to hear from you through a solicitor, yeah?
Yeah, we'll be contacting him later today or tomorrow once we've only got back last night, so today is the first day back.
Okay. All right, fair enough. I'm sure I'll be speaking to you soon then.
Yeah, sure we will.